One of the most iconic scenes in Star Wars is with Jabba's sail barge. With that, LEGO made set 75397 the UCS Jabba sail barge, with 3,942 pieces, 11 minifigures, and a price of $500. Let's find out if this set is worth buying. With an absolutely massive display stand, this set includes what is the new norm with a printed display plaque. If you want, you can pause and read this. It does include a lot of cool information about the sail barge. It also has a 25th anniversary brick, and I feel like these were included in so many sets. The first minifig up is Jabba the Hutt. The last time we had this fig was in 2012, and this is such a good Jabba. It's a darker shade of green than the previous version, and has more detail. His right arm even has this tattoo. Jabba has his own separate display stand and has a designated spot inside the sail barge, but we'll get to that later on in the review. And if you were curious, the way the Jabba head and body are connected is with a Technic pin. C-3PO is good, but this version brings some controversy. For a $500 set, not including the better version with the dual molded legs is wrong. We've seen two sets include the best C-3PO, and they are far less expensive. The UCS Luke's Landspeeder costed $240, and the buildable C-3PO costed $140. So why didn't they include the better version in a $500 set? While the Bib Fortuna minifig is very good, it has one glaring issue, and that is that it's the Fat Bib Fortuna, as fans are calling it. And the correct Bib Fortuna LEGO has made in the past, so why wasn't it in a set that's this expensive? Just like with the C-3PO debacle, I'm not so sure. Besides that one issue, it's a very good minifig with ample torso detail and has two excellent face prints. Woof is a tremendous fig with really nice detail, especially with this helmet. Also, Woof has two face prints included. Max Rebo finally returns, and this is probably my favorite minifig in the set. He's all blue and has the shorter legs, and his head is rubber, so if you press hard enough, the ears and nose do move. But I wouldn't recommend doing that, as over time you can run the risk of it breaking. Cathaba is a neat minifig with what appears to be a satchel around his torso. There's tons of detail on his face, and I like everything about this minifig. The long-awaited Princess Leia is next, and this version has finally returned. I personally love this minifig, and yes, I know it looks like she's wearing swim trunks, but I can look past that. Her hairpiece is great, and she has two face prints as well. And on the back, you have a designated spot where you can hook up the chain. The Gamorrean guard is perfect, and I wouldn't change anything about this minifig. The mold and detail is literally perfect. I love the way they incorporated straps and the shoulder armor. It's just so nice. The next minifigure we're going to take a look at is Vizam, a super cool minifig with the nice face print and a super unique helmet. While there's only one face print, the back does have some detail on it as well. Additionally, the torso does include what appears to be dirt or scratches on it, which is a nice addition. R2-D2 is the same version as so many others, but this time around, R2 includes a drink tray. This is such a fun accessory, and it's simple but adds so much detail not only to the minifig but to the set as a whole. Salacious Crumb was a highly desired fig, and while the mold is amazing, LEGO needs to stop excluding pupils from minifigures. If this included pupils, we would be looking at a perfect 10 out of 10 version of Salacious B. Crumb, but since Salacious B. Crumb doesn't have pupils, it looks kind of awkward. Moving on to the sail barge, this came in two separate boxes and it included 36 numbered bags. The first box includes a photo of Max Rebo, and on the second box we have a photo of Salacious B. Crumb, and hey, would you look at that, pupils. But moving on to the sail barge, let's start at the front with this beautifully shaped nose. The mix of studs and flat tiles are really nice, and we will see that same theme throughout the entire set. Moving to the side of the barge, we see the same tiling like we do on the nose, and further back we see where our first play feature is included with the ability to open and close these windows. It's a nice addition, and not only does it add playability, it also adds displayability. Right below that, we also see one of these fins or wings that can help steer the barge, and it does have ample posability as well, once again adding another play feature or display feature to this set. These walls do move down and they can access the interior, but this is the backside of the barge, so all you really see is the cockpit, and we do have a pretty nice view, but we mainly see the walls, which is the backside of the other rooms. Flipping this set around, it's pretty much a mirrored image of the side we just looked at, and let's take the walls down and we have a nice look at the inside of this immaculate interior. The rooms available are a cockpit, the jail cell with a weapons wall, a kitchen, and you have a place for Jabba to chill out. And how could I forget that in the very back there is a specific spot for Max Rebo's red ball jet keyboard. These two top sections can actually be removed and it will give us a better look and easier way to access the interior. Once again, looking at the cockpit, we can see a mix of printed and sticker pieces, and we see a photo of the sail barge, and it's helping out the drivers know exactly where they're going and if there are any enemies in sight. The cell/armory is really cool, and we can actually take out the jail cell, and if we look inside we see a sticker, and if I'm not mistaken this reads Han was here. There's also a broom and handcuffs on the jail cell as well, and what appears to be a shower on the back wall. The armory itself has a variety of weapons, and you can give Cathaba, Wolf, your Gamorrean guard any weapon they want to help defend the sail barge. There's also this ladder right here that can help your minifigs access the top of the barge. The kitchen has tons of cooking supplies and food. We see forks, spoons, knives, pots, and pans, along with what appears to be recipes. There's also a chicken leg, a bone, 2 fish, and even a frog as well. This ladder section can also be removed, and it makes it a lot easier to access the kitchen. This platform for where Jabba is does look very cool, and just like the other rooms, it can also be removed. And we see this chest right behind it, and inside that chest is the chain that can be used for Princess Leia. As I mentioned earlier, the inclusion of Max Rebo's keyboard is super cool, and fans are really going to appreciate this detail. The very back of the sail barge is similar to the rest of the set, but there aren't any windows that can open and close. There is this little, what I want to call a tail to the set that sticks out a little bit, but that's really the only main difference. Getting a closer look at the very top of the set, the two sails really make this set come to life, but if we remove them, we can get a much better look at the upper section. There's plenty of room to place your minifigs around the top of the set, and there's 3 turrets, and 2 of them mainly move up and down, and then you have the main cannon, which can rotate 360 degrees and can primarily move down. And right in front of that cannon, you might be wondering, what is this big piece? And this actually ties into what we spoke about earlier, and if you remove it, you can access the ladder from the kitchen, and that is where your minifigs will climb up the ladder and actually come out on the very top. And slightly towards the front of the barge, we see these 2 hatches, and once again, that will access the interior or ladder of the jail/armory for your minifigs to climb up and down. The way Lego gets this sort of wall section look is what I consider to be these rope pieces, and when they come out of the box they are straight, but you actually bend them and then you clip them into these pieces, and it gives you that nice looking wall detail that we see here. Attaching the sails is very easy. You just put them over these ball joint pieces right here, and as you can see, getting them on and off is a fairly easy task. Now the question still remains if you should spend $500 on the Jabba sail barge, and I think this is an excellent set with some really good minifigs and a beautiful interior. This reminds me almost of an MBS and a UCS set combining into one, and I really like it. I think this is really hard to pass up on just because how long we've been waiting for a UCS Jabba sail barge, and it was so overdue. And as you could probably guess from my tone throughout the entire video, I love this set, and I do think it's worth the money. Now, I do think this also should have included the Desert Skiff and Sarlacc pit for $500. I think that would have been an excellent value and would have easily put this set into a lot of people's top 5 LEGO Star Wars UCS sets of all time, but regardless, this is still an amazing model. So yes, I do think this set is worth it, especially if you want or plan on getting the Desert Skiff and Sarlacc pit. Those 2 sets make a fantastic display piece and one that will just take your breath away whenever you look at them in a room. So let me know all your thoughts about the Jabba sail barge. Do you plan on having it? Do you have it? What do you think about it? Don't forget to leave a like if you enjoyed this video, subscribe for more LEGO content, and I'll see you in the next one.